The Lord be with you. A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Luke. Jesus said to his disciples, "Be sure of this. If the master of the house had known the hour when the thief was coming, he would not have let his house be broken into. You also must be prepared, for at an hour you do not expect, the Son of Man will come." Then Peter said, "Lord, is this parable meant for us or for everyone?" And the Lord replied, "Who then is the faithful and prudent steward, whom the master will put in charge of his servants to distribute the food allowance at the proper time? Blessed is that servant whom his master on arrival finds doing so. Truly I say to you, he will put him in charge of all his property. But if that servant says to himself, 'My master is delayed in coming,' and begins to beat the men servants and the maid servants, to eat and drink and get drunk, then that servant's master will come on an unexpected day and at an unexpected hour, and will punish the servant severely and assign him a place with the unfaithful. That servant who knew his master's will, but did not make preparations or act in accord with his will be beaten severely. And the servant who was ignorant of his master's will, but acted in a way deserving of a severe beating, shall be beaten only lightly. Much will be required of the person entrusted with much, and still more will be demanded of the person entrusted with more." My friends, the Gospel of the Lord. Does St. Therese of Lisieux, Winston Churchill, and Bill Gates have anything in common? Well, you wouldn't be expected to know the answer, but they actually do have. The well-known gospel passage that I just read for you was a favorite of each of them, and still is for Bill Gates. That same passage inspired, they said, the Kennedy and the Bush families to public service. And it has found its way into more than one presidential State of the Union address. The late Tim Russert's son Luke even claims that he has it permanently tattooed on his body. The passage also appears on mugs and posters, and Uncle Ben in Spider-Man uses a version of it to inspire Peter Parker, better known as Spider-Man. I'm not referring to John 3:16. I'm referring to Luke 12:48b. Much will be required of the person entrusted with much, and more will be demanded of the person entrusted with more. Uncle Ben's version, with great power comes great responsibility. Paul in today's first reading was reminding the Ephesians of what he was entrusted with, the gift of faith. And he tells them that he was given the responsibility of proclaiming that faith to the Gentiles. But he also noted that it was only through the grace of God that he was able to do this. The power did not come from himself. So today we're confronted with two important questions. I ask myself, what am I entrusted with? And what am I doing with it? They're sobering questions, but questions requiring reflection. And you, what have you been entrusted with? And what are you doing with it?